To me.
Me. Something very bad still is yet to happen. Season 1, episode 4. 5? We're on 5? Crazy. We've made it past the middle mark.
As you've just found out, yes. Yeah.
One benefit this show got in my mind is that we had just watched the first episode of season 3 of The Terror before, and it was bad. That provided this show a lot of grace when I watched it.
A lot of horror shows coming out right now.
This was a pretty good ep. I know that you requested that we leave the house, we go outside for this next ep, but they went the opposite way. They went all house.
Hunkering.
Yeah, they hunkered down in the house.
Hunkering and bunkering, yeah.
Now, at this point, we have learned that she must marry her soulmate. And she has decided that this man she's about to marry is her soulmate.
She's been cursed.
She's been cursed.
There's a family curse.
Family curse. And if she doesn't marry him, his whole entire family gets the curse.
I don't know if we can do a whole thing on the mechanics of the curse. They seem... I'm not sure I understand them.
The rules are clear now. I'm not really sure entirely how it started. All I know is that our guy was given this curse, didn't marry his to-be betrothed, and her entire family got the curse. And his curse was to witness every family member die, basically. And so his whole thing now is just getting to witness people get married, and then they usually die.
I didn't have a problem with it at the time, but looking back, I'm a little curious on the origin of this curse and how it goes to an entire family. So the way that it's set up now, if she doesn't marry her soulmate Sunday.
Yep. I don't know where the date came from, but
so I have a question about that.
That part
I've sort of arbitrarily set that date, or
we maybe should have listened a little bit better when our Greek guy was talking in the bar.
Possibly
when he was diatribing all of it, and we were joking about the whole thing. Actually, I think we were discussing how painful it would be to be stabbed in the leg with a fork. That was my bad.
Which it would be.
I agree. I just don't know if I would have screamed as much as she did, but not really a great debate.
And then the curse goes from just her to now this entire family, many of whom are already married.
Yes, but it doesn't go to the entire family if she goes through with the wedding.
Right, but if she doesn't, it passes to a family who, do they then have to marry their soulmate? Because I think most of them are married.
I think it goes to their children.
Their children, okay.
Would be my assumption.
Just the unmarried ones?
I guess that's going to be my assumption. I don't think that's a very good assumption, but that's, I guess. So I guess at that point it would go to Portia, and it would go to the nephew.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But if she does go through with the wedding and doesn't, it's not her soulmate, then she face bleeds.
Right. And that's the curse. She outlines this to some level of detail at the end of the episode.
But she doesn't tell her betrothed. The only person that knows this story is the young doctor.
Doesn't she talk about it at the end of the episode?
At the end, once she freaks out.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was referring to. Okay. So we spend this episode largely trying to figure out if Nikki is her soulmate.
Yeah.
And at the start of the episode, she's pretty sure, and by pretty sure, we can quantify that to 92%. By the end of the episode, I think the percentage, we don't have a number, but I think it's lower than 92.
I'm gonna go with 15. It dropped pretty significantly.
Wow, so almost
she's
a
walking
mirror
out the door.
image.
She's ready to go. And the entire episode pretty much lies on the story of how they met.
Yes.
It's an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
That's the hinge point for the soulmate discussion.
And the story was that she was going to get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
She thought something horrible was going to happen on the plane, aka the plane was going to crash. And they kept calling her name, and she didn't want to get on. And that's when she ran into her boyfriend, who I guess told her that he was going to get on that flight,
Yes.
even though he was not going to get on that flight. And they drove to Austin, or no, they were in Austin, and they drove wherever they were going. That's not too important.
Yeah, I thought it was to Austin, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, that her version of the story is that she was going to get on the plane. She didn't. Nikki says, "Oh, I'm supposed to get on that plane too. Maybe we should just drive." She says, something like, "You might have just saved my life," which is the title of the episode.
Yep.
Off they drive, and they go on their romance for, I think it's 3 years, something like that, until now, present day.
And what we find out, the truth of the story was he had just broken up with his ex.
Whose name is what?
I don't remember.
I think her name was Nikki.
That sounds
I think
fair.
it was Nikki on Nikki.
And he was on his way to his brother's wedding to his ex-girlfriend. And so his brother is not only finding out that this story's wrong, but that also the reason he didn't go to his wedding was to have this, at the time, adventure, this rebound with this woman that he's now betrothed to.
Yeah.
We find that out slowly. The shots are great. I thought her telling of the story was very good. I thought they did a great job of showing how horrible the song and dance you have to do at a wedding is. I'm sure you got used to that, especially when it's like, you know, your dad's friend and your dad's family and your mom's family, people you've met like 2 times in your life, and they want to know everything about you at this moment, and they catch you at the reception and they want to say, you know, how happy they are, and then they want to tell you how they met their person and give you their advice about.
I had a significant advantage over our protagonist, and that's that half of the people were my people. She's got nobody.
She does. She has nobody, so she is telling this story over and over again. It becomes her go-to to get through the evening. And for some reason, Jules, a.k.a. young doctor, decides that he's going to interrupt her telling this story. And that's when he's going to find out when this was, what really happened.
And he does get to the bottom of it.
He does. And he's upset because he's a hurt boy. And she gets very upset. And Nikki doesn't really understand why she's upset.
Oh, I was going to say, Nikki gets pretty upset at his brother.
He does get quite mad at Jules.
So he does get upset, but not in the way you're describing.
No.
Gets upset at his brother for unearthing the truth, as he's following her.
And he's like, "Why are you doing this to me right now? Like, why is this
right?
The time?" Yeah.
Poking little holes in the story. Hey, they were calling out her name. Were they also calling out your name? No. Why?
Why wouldn't they be calling your name?
Why is
you were
that?
Also late.
And so yeah, this core romantic starting point that she, in her mind, has built the relationship on, and now this is coming to. She's telling everybody about it. It's the key story of this rehearsal dinner night. Now the bottom falls out of it, and she's a little untethered, and she gets wine all over her dress.
Yeah. Well, because not only is she leaning on this story as like a crutch to make it through this awkward night, but she's leaning on this story as the crutch to like this being her soulmate, this being her thing. So this is very much like this is the linchpin, if you will, of their relationship at this point. But not only relationship, but her life.
Well, and
like she's
yes,
got her life on the line. On this one.
soulmates have to have some sort of origin story that's miraculous because
The
the
meet cute's gotta be
fates,
there.
the gods have to be pushing them together because these are two people that need to be together, and we've got to push them. We got to undo some sort of circumstances to get them in the same room so they can see that.
That's pretty much how it ends. She kind of tells him what's going on. I don't know if she tells him fully the curse or just kind of explains how she has to marry her soulmate.
I thought it was a pretty brief explanation.
It was brief,
kind
and
of leaving everybody going, "What?"
It kind of ended with
about?
Nikki belittling the story because he basically said the plane was fine,
Yes, yeah,
which is basically like a callback to like the whole story is bullshit.
yeah,
In that you got this feeling about an airplane and it was fine.
right. Just like you're getting a feeling now, and it's also fine. So doing a little lighting of the gas here.
Yeah. We've got 3 more eps left.
We do.
Do you think the wedding is going to happen this ep? Penultimate or
I
finale?
think finale. I went on to the Netflix app today to figure out which episode we were on.
Yeah.
That's how I know we're on number 5. And they've got little taglines for each of the episodes. Do you want to guess the tagline of the last episode?
They get married.
No. Do you want one more guess?
Sure.
I think you can get it. I think you can get it in 2. I think you can birdie this hole.
Oh, now the pressure's really on. Betrothed.
Something bad happens.
Oh. Was it something very bad happens, or did they shorten it?
I think they said something bad happens. I think that's it.
God damn, I should have gotten that one. That
yes.
was.
I
missed my
laughed-
short game
I
was
laughed
not
when I
good
saw
this
that.
evening.
The whole episode, the whole curse thing kind of flips my original theory of the show. Possibly. I'm still going to hold out.
I mean, are we just going to drop the entire family's weird thing?
We can't. That's got to come back. But we are being misdirected. Now the weird thing is coming from our protagonist, who at the start of the show was the only normal person in this otherworldly, strange set of locations and characters. Now she's in this episode. She's the weird one.
Yeah.
She's been cursed
the
with a curse that
supernatural.
doesn't make a ton of logical sense in retrospect. But again, that's not a criticism. It didn't bother me at the time of viewing. I would love to double click on that in the next step.
Yeah, I guess I'm just trying to I have a hard time thinking they're going to be able to keep it interesting at this point, just because there's a lot of wandering that can go on with the number of eps we have left and what could actually happen. But I would say this episode was a turn in the right direction from the previous one. I thought the previous one was really kind of, even though it was telling us everything. Actually, I would say the last episode was half and half because the VHS stuff was really good. But I feel like they rushed the explanation of the curse and did a little bit of it was too much in the dialogue. And I'm not one of those people that sticks to the show not tell. There's no place for talking. You should always
You love
show
the telling
dialogue.
and the showing.
I love a little bit of it both.
You love
but
the
I think
showing
that,
and you love the growing.
That felt a little bit too much of let me explain everything that's happened in the last couple episodes right now so that we can sum it up for you.
The point that I thought was a little wandering was the 8th time she tells the same meet cute story.
Yeah.
But that turns out to be sort of the central thing about the episode. You don't have the episode without that. So
yeah, I was definitely getting tired of it, but I thought that felt right to me, if that makes sense.
yeah.
The fact that
Yes.
it was just getting boring enough that was the point.
Right, exactly.
We were feeling her emotion at that point, which is here we go again. You're going to tell this story one more time.
We also learned her dad is coming to the wedding and that Nikki invited him.
Well, we know he's invited. I don't know if he's coming.
Oh, yeah, no, true. But we found out who invited him.
Yes,
And it
we
was
did
Nikki.
find out that Nikki was the one who invited him.
You're right. We haven't seen the wedding yet. But I assume he attends.
I don't know. I feel like she told him not to, but she's probably told him not to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. Is this all going to be one big misdirect, and there's something else that's very bad that's going to happen?
A third thing we haven't spoken about?
Yeah.
No.
Or even back to just the family?
I think the family is very much in play. I still think the family is in play. They were very weird in that second episode. I'm not going to forget the weird things that Jennifer Jason Leigh in particular was saying. She was definitely on one there, and I don't think the cancer diagnosis explains away.
And we had that whole scene with the wedding dress where they're like recutting the wedding dress.
Yeah. Yes.
And we have the Dr. Jules and his wife have been having some side conversations about the whole thing. Yeah, so there's definitely something still going on there. Yeah, so I think maybe that's the turn we're going to get here. What was your favorite part of the episode? Because to me, I think it was Portia.
Why is that?
Mostly because she just was like, shut the fuck up, Steve, when he was interrupting something. She's absolutely delightful. Her portrayal could get really annoying, and I was afraid of that after the first ep, because she's so super eccentric that I thought they were going to use it as a crutch, but they've so far been pretty good about just salting her here and there. And so anytime she has a couple of lines, it's pretty great.
Yeah. The whole episode was funnier than the previous episodes have been. A little more on a horror comedy.
Well, this wasn't horror at all. There was not a scary moment this entire ep. From the get-go, because it was all just the dinner party.
Yeah, and I mean, I could write you a thesis about how claustrophobic that's being, and we are talking about curses, and so, but you're right, it's not your traditional horror television show. It's more like the first 30 minutes of a horror movie.
I felt, well, even then you feel like something's around the corner. I never during that
we know something very bad is going to happen. Yeah. We do know that.
But I guess maybe that's the whole point. They're trying to lull us, and there's something bad or something bad will happen before now. But that episode did a good job of lulling me to not I wasn't looking around the corner in suspense like I had been the last couple of episodes. And maybe that's on purpose. But that episode did not, and that's fine in a horror TV show to have an episode that's not horror. But that did not, I don't think there's anything scary about that episode. But there's probably some people, like you said, that is their type of horror.
Yeah.
Just the situation is their horror.
I think my favorite part of the ep was just the redirect to her as potentially being the source of the monster in the form of that curse. So taking it away from the family overall and putting the attention back on her, I thought was an interesting, let's see if it's a misdirect. Let's see if that's the new part of the show. Let's see what comes of it. But I thought that was an interesting change.
Is it possible the family already knows about the curse? And maybe they're somehow trying to trick it into Jennifer Jason Leigh being the new witness.
I don't know how that would work, but that brings me back to my confusion about the curse in the first place. I like the idea, but I'll say no.
Yeah. I mean, because anytime you've got super powerful people and supernatural together in some way, they're always trying to bend it to do something for them. That's my only thought there, where the family has some sort of plot and they've known this whole time, which would kind of ruin Jules' story, but still interesting.
Still could be something. The last thing on my mind is, didn't Nikki say that one of the caterers went to school with him, but more importantly was the guy who left his baby in the car?
Oh yeah, was that one of the caterers?
I think that was one of the
I thought
caterers.
It was his family member or something, or he went to high school with him.
Right,
or something like
that as well. Yes, he's one of the caterers. He was the guy who left the baby and punched me.
Guy.
Super nice guy, and he went to school with him. So that was kind of strange. We did talk after, I think it was after episode 1, about how many of these strange characters we would see coming back into the wedding.
All of them but the bartender so far, which I assume she was probably there catering and we just didn't see it. But every single one has come back And of course, we still have the Mr. Custard Man,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
who I assume is dead, but they had never said that. We just know he got locked up at some point.
Yeah.
And we still did see the Barbie doll shoe in the first step, so that's still some stuff that could come back. There's a lot on the table.
There's a lot on the table.
Should we go check out the table?
I'd love to. Stay gold.
Stay gold, Pony Boy.
Good up.
Good app.